I know it's been a really long time, but today I feel inspired to talk to you about juicing and fasting. One of the reasons why is because I've been doing a fast now for 17 days, and I think it's something that's really beneficial. I am a long-time faster. I've fasted probably for the last 7 or 8 years, typically twice a year in the fall and the spring, which is when the body naturally often wants to purge and clean house. And I think it's been, well, probably the last 3 years that I've skipped it. And I'm back on track this year. Usually I will fast with a Master Cleanse drink, which is a squeezed lemon and some cayenne and a tablespoon of maple syrup in warm water. And that's always worked really well for me. I think I've gone up to 21 days doing that. This is the first time I've actually just juice fasted. And one of the reasons why I haven't done this in the past is it's kind of a lot of work for me, but I think it's going to be worth it. I'm just juicing once a day so that I make all the juice for the day and then just store it in the fridge. I think I used to have kind of a big hang up about, well, it has to be super fresh. The enzymes start dying as soon as you start to oxidize and get old. But I'm over that now. It's okay. Day-old juice is okay. So why would you even want to fast? Well, one of the reasons why is because the body, if it is digesting food, which we are most of the day typically, then it's not working on maintenance and repair. It will stop any of its natural tendencies for maintenance, repair, cleansing, if it has to work on digesting food. So when you're juice fasting, you are giving living food that's going straight to your cells with like minimal digestion at all. And so the body can take a lot of time to work on maintenance and repair. And I think it's important to give the body a rest from digestion. There's a lot of hardship that the body goes through with some of the things that we eat, and you guys know what I'm talking about. And I think it's good to give the body a rest and to just let it kind of reset itself. Now, fasting is not always fun. I do get hungry sometimes, and you just have to remember that often that hunger, or things that you'll crave things, very common to crave things, and you have to ask yourself, well, if I'm craving a candy bar, that's not really my body talking. That's probably parasites in me that are really asking for that candy bar. And a fast is a great opportunity to break the hold that these critters can have, and hopefully they will leave your body if you fast long enough, and you won't have those issues anymore. Of course, the more raw living foods that you eat and incorporate into your diet, the less that's going to be an issue, because the terrain inside your body will not be conducive. They won't want to come live there. And I actually had a question off one of my videos, the papaya parasite purge one, asking, well, if I'm always cooking my meat to the appropriate temperature, then how am I getting these parasites? Well, let me tell you, they aren't necessarily coming from the meat itself. There's parasites in water, there's parasites, we just come in contact with them. There's a lot of ways that a parasite can get to you, and it knows who a good host is, and it'll head right for you if you have a supportable terrain. If your body is a good place to set up house, they're gonna find you. It doesn't matter whether you cook your meat fully or not, they're coming. So that's just something to consider. The more raw and living foods that you eat, again, it's not going to support parasites that want to live off of decaying, rotting carcasses and dead food that's collecting in your colon. So just a little side note. Well, what I've got here today, I'll show you what I have. When I juice, I typically will start off with, I want to combine this, and this. And so I make a few that are probably going to really taste good, but then I start getting kind of tired of that, and I just start putting everything in. So usually my last two juices are kind of a potluck, and they don't always, well, let's say I wouldn't feed them to guests. I can drink them. They don't bother me. So I think that what I'm going to start off with today, though, well, I'll tell you what I have. I have spinach. I have arugula. I have lots of celery. That's kind of a staple. I have cucumbers, I've got some fennel, however you say it. I have, carrots are another staple, and you can usually get big bags of these typically up to like $4, $4 or $5. So that's good. I also have some fresh mint. That goes well with the cucumbers. I use a lot of ginger to sweeten the juices. And I forgot, a moment. Another thing I like to use to sweeten juices are apples. And really, apples are the only fruit that food combining wise will go okay with these vegetables. I don't usually juice too many other fruits. Sometimes I'll break a rule and use like some grapes with beets and apples, but I don't do that too often. Yeah, so what I have in here, I've got a beet that I'm still working on, some purple cabbage, and this is kind of funny. I found these peppers at Trader Joe's and I was really drawn to them for some reason. Strange, you want strange things when you're fasting. This was one of them, and I actually cheated on my fast on one of these peppers. I just had to eat it. And they're not that hot. I mean, they've got a little bit of a kick. So if I do like a savory juice, like this would go well with tomato, cilantro, celery. That would be a good combo. I don't have any cilantro or tomatoes today. So that kind of gives you an idea. And then, so I'll make about 4 to 5 juices that I drink throughout the day, maybe every 2 to 3 hours. And I usually incorporate a kombucha at least once a day because that kind of gives me a little break. And I have, this is unpasteurized orange juice that I got at Trader Joe's. And so I will maybe have 1 glass of this a day. And actually I'm feeling like I want to drink that right now. Sorry. So why does it matter that it's not pasteurized? We want the food to be living. Once you heat food over 105 degrees, the enzymes begin to die, and the enzymes are the life of food. We have living bodies with living cells. They need living food, not dead food. When you eat something that's been cooked, it's already dead, and the body has to come up with the enzymes to digest it. It's a lot of work for the body, and it also, cooked food tends to be, is it cationic, where it's drying and it's pasty and gluey, and just, you know, this runs through your body clean and is not going to leave a residue. Any kind of cooked carbohydrates, meat, dairy, animal products is going to leave a residue. And it's always kind of funny to me when people say they're eating clean, but then they're still eating meat. I'm like, that's not clean, at least not in my book. But I digress. So I'm going to get started with the juicing. I have a very old, 10, 12 year old Green Star juicer that's still kicking for me, and I love it. Someday I'd love to upgrade to another one, but for now it's still working, so why would I do that? This juicer is masticating. It has 2 gears inside that crush whatever come in contact with it, and it doesn't generate a lot of heat. Some juicers will generate a lot of heat, and you're going to lose some of the nutrients, some of the enzymes in your juice. But if you're just getting started, just go get whatever juicer you want. You can always move up later. It would be better to juice and lose a few enzymes than it is to just not juice because you can't afford one of these or don't want to put out the money for one of these. Okay? Now you want to prep all your food before you get started juicing. Makes it easier that way. Putting my apples into little slices. I need to wash up and cut the cucumbers. You're going to want to get organic produce whenever you can. I said that because I thought cucumbers, it's hard to find organic cucumbers where I live, and if you do, they're very expensive. It's your health, and I'd rather pay the money on food than in the hospital later. So this juicer, okay, you can see how small that is. Some juicers have a lot bigger funnel, I guess that is, a chute that you can put things into. I have to cut my stuff down quite a bit. That's another, I don't know if the new ones have a bigger chute or not. I haven't used one before. I know there are other juicers that have bigger chutes, and you may want to go with that. The other thing is that this juicer is not necessarily super fast to clean. I've just gotten used to it. It's part of my routine. I think it takes about 15 minutes for me to get it cleaned effectively. Okay, we're going to get started. I'm using cucumber, apple, and I'm going to use fresh mint. don't know if you can see that. Okay. You have to have a chute for the fibrous parts of it to come out. And mine, this container will hold about, if I use a glass, you can usually fill 2 glasses. I usually put mine in jars, old jars that I have, and store it in the refrigerator. And so it takes a little more. Okay, so I broke off some leaves from the mint. I don't like to put the stems in. I don't like the taste. I've done that before. A little more potent, not as good, a little bitter. One more thing that I want to add that I thought that I want to add is some of the fennel, because that will go well. I also almost forgot lemons and limes. Those are also good to put in. You can just put them in, skin and all, wash them good first, into the juicer. Just a little more fennel. So the next juice that I'm going to do is going to have celery, carrots, some arugula, some lemon, and probably some ginger, and some peppers. But anyway, I'm going to use some beet, some purple cabbage, a little bit of ginger, more carrots, and an apple. There you have it. This is what I'll be eating the rest of the day. Every one of these drinks are full of life and enzymes, and they're gonna go straight to my cells and cleanse and rebuild and do great things, add color. You know, you see people that are pasty and pale. Think about what they've been eating. If you look at your plate, at your hamburger and your french fries and your potatoes, it's all that bland kind of yellow color. You need lots of colors in your diet, like a rainbow. Well, I hope maybe this inspires you to try a juice fast sometime. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. See you later.